Welcome back to G.M.T. Today we are reviewing Clash in Paris, the WWE event, the last WWE event that will be on Peacock. Unfortunately, all in all, I didn't hate the event. Um, Pretty solid for the most part. We'll go through every match like we did with SummerSlam individually. Uh, give you some background things of what happened, my thoughts. Uh, we'll go into where the current move is for WWE and so on and so forth. What we think might happen tomorrow night. So first thing, if y'all see me looking this way, by the way, it's because I'm looking at my notes for the whole thing. So first thing, Stephanie Valkyrie, Stephanie Valkyrie was not on the card. She was supposed to be, but for those who aren't fully following, her opponent Naomi, she's pregnant. So congrats to her and her husband Jimmy, who's one of the Usos. Yeah, so she had to vacate the title, and so they have to build a story around it. And I understood that. It's like it sucks not seeing her on the card. She's a very good wrestler in my opinion. So yeah, that was one of the things that I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. It would have been nice to have her there, but the placeholder match instead of her match, we had gotten Becky Lynch versus Nikki, which I'll get into once we get into the whole nitty gritty of what happened within the Clash of Paris. So yeah, no Stephanie Valkyrie for this. 9 times out of 10 it'd be for WrestlePalooza, and I'm quite sure tomorrow night we'll figure out who her opponent will be. I know a lot of people have assumed it'll be Rhea or Io. Honestly, in my opinion, if Io had not been um, already in a storyline with Rhea, Asuka, and I can't think of the woman's name, Kairi Sane, then I would say, nah, go ahead and do that match for the vacant title. Um, but due to the fact those four are in a storyline, it's kind of hard to say, hey, who does Stephanie go up against for this title now? So I'm quite sure they'll probably have like this battle royale tomorrow, or something leading into WrestlePalooza, because WrestlePalooza is I think they said the 27th. I could have that date wrong, so don't quote that date. I would say research it if you guys can. Um, but yeah, WrestlePalooza is like something mid September, and that will be on ESPN. We'll get into more into that a little later in the video. So yeah, once we have who her opponent will be, then they have the markings for a storyline for her. The WWE Championship was also not on the card today, and that was, I'm quite sure, primarily due to Cody Rhodes and his wife having a child. So congrats to them as well. So 9 times out of 10 they'll be on again the ESPN WrestlePalooza show. They'll probably have all the titles being defended that night. There was also no Julia. Now, there was no Julia nor no Judgment Day. So I'm gonna start with the Julia factor first, because it's gonna be like a little rant. WWE needs to do better by the U.S. women's title, because the fact that it wasn't on the card is, it hasn't been on the last two pay-per-views, and is being defended strictly on SmackDown. And I'm like, we need to be promoting this title, like how the women's Intercontinental title, how Becky is building that title up, and it's being defended on pay-per-views. That's how the women's U.S. title needs to be handled. Um, and I think Julia with the title is perfect. It's just you guys really got to start building. You got to pull the trigger and start putting her on these cards so people can start seeing how phenomenal she really is. You know, if I remember correctly, Chelsea Green was on a good portion of pay-per-views with that title. But yeah, they really need to do better by Julia and putting her U.S. title on the pay-per-views. In Judgment Day, shifting into that one, the Raw tag titles not defended again. Granted, I do know it's because the Raw tag division is not that great. It's primarily Judgment Day, New Day, Viking Raiders, and the LWO. And I know the LWO is currently feuding with Judgment Day, and I believe they've already lost. So it's just like on Raw tomorrow, they really need to figure out what they're going to do with these tag titles, because at this point you might as well just merge the SmackDown tag titles alongside of the Raw tag titles, and they just shift to both shows. I know they're trying to stop that, but it's like I'm a huge fan of Finn Balor. I think JD McDonough is great, but I'm at the point now, if you're not going to have them in the ring frequently, then we need to take those titles off of them and, put them back in singles competition and put a main title on Finn. So yeah, no Judgment Day. That also includes Dom Mysterio, who's doing his thing right now, man. Dom he's going for the AAA title again. He gets a singles match soon, and maybe he might be two belts Dom. We don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, let's go on down to the actual Clash in Paris. Sorry for that 6-minute rant of like who wasn't there. Clash was great. It wasn't bad. I think all the clashes we had have been pretty solid in my opinion. This one, in my opinion, like the first Clash was the best one in my opinion. This one by no stretch of the imagination. Sorry, I'm rambling there. Lost my words. Was bad. But it didn't hit the same it's like nothing's gonna hit the same like the first one, But it was good. It was good. I don't think I gave any match a failing grade. There was like problems with certain matches, but I don't think no match got a failing grade for me. So, first match was the Tribal Thief versus the Tribal Chief. Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns. Reed came out first, of course, with Paul Heyman. This was a hard-hitting match. They showed the dominance of Bronson Reed. It was a very back and forth. It was like, this is one of the few times they allow literally Roman to be dominated by somebody. So, and I think they did a good job with showing how dangerous Bronson Reed could be. They're bringing that back, because the last time we saw how dangerous Bronson Reed was his feud with Seth, and they was holy, and that was good. So they're really stretching back into that and showing his dominance, which is a good thing. So he put Reigns to the ringer. It was a hardy match, but Reigns overcame. He won. It was what happened after the match where a lot of stuff for the main event, for the Fatal 4-Way, kind of shifted things. So first and foremost, Roman Reigns reclaimed the Shoe of Fala. He got his sneakers back, and he was celebrating with the crowd. And everybody knows, whoever watches WWE knows, if somebody's out there with the crowd for a good long time, and granted, you could tell they were also trying to kill time, given the fact we only had, I think, 5 matches on the card, which I know that's Triple H's thing. We need to start maybe upping that maybe to 7 matches in a card, to be fair. But these matches are lengthy, so that is the caveat. So I do understand it. But yeah, Roman got his shoes back, and he was signing his shoes, throwing them in the crowd. I wonder, the announcers, I wonder how much those things are worth now, because he was signing the shoes. He's I know some people was hoping that they got a whole pair, but yeah, he was signing the shoes, and he managed to throw 2 in the crowd, and then out of nowhere, Breakker spears this man through the announcer table, because he was on one, and Breakker came out of nowhere and speared him through Coles and why can't I think of his name? Why can't I think of my man's name? Wade Barrett's announcer table, and they're doing a good job selling the dominance of Braun Breaker. Clearly, that's the next feud for Roman is Breaker. Like it's like a domino effect. Roman is going through each of them until he gets to Rollins. Um, but yeah, I lost my words. Sorry, y'all. Uh, Breaker spears Roman, and everybody's coming out, trying to get Braun off of him, and Braun. I've skipped a part. I'm sorry, I skipped the part. Before this happened, before Roman started celebrating with the crowd, I am sorry, y'all. He got his revenge on Heyman. He put Heyman in the guillotine, and he choked him out. Then he got on the announcer table and started signing his shoes and tossing the shoes, and that's when he got speared. So after he got speared, the higher ups and the stuff got the refs and everybody came out and made Breaker, Reed, and Heyman go to the back. And we all knew, given how slowly we were still focusing on Roman, that Breaker was going to run back around and spear him. Roman was like, he was almost to the ramp portion where you're about to enter the ring, and so bam, spear. And Roman, he's like selling it well, and as this is happening, they go up, and the higher ups are trying to get control of the situation again, and Reed comes down, and Reed tries to he basically gets Breaker off Roman for a little while, then Reed tosses Roman in the match, and tsunami, and it was like, dang, they beating this man's tail. So after that first tsunami, they call out the stretcher. Stretcher gets out there, and my God, you could tell these were like fake EMTs and stuff, because they did not secure my man Roman's arms or nothing. And then again, another tsunami. So after that tsunami, Jay finally comes out, because you're wondering, like, so when is somebody coming out to help Roman? Jay comes out. Jay starts beating the crap out of Breaker. He gets his licks in, all that. Spear after he got off Reed, Breaker spears him. Jay's out, and then again another tsunami. So another tsunami on Reigns, I should say. So at this point now, finally they leave the ring, and it's like, I need WWE to do a little bit better with Pierce's character when it comes to getting control. And I get it, it's supposed to be out of control, but I'm like, Pierce, you have the power literally to be like, hey, I'll do this again, you're out. Because again, they waited till after we got backstage for you to find out, hey, by the way, if you guys interfere in any stretch of the imagination in the Fatal 4-Way tonight, not only are you fined, you're suspended without pay. So Paul Heyman, Breaker, Reed out of the match. They cannot be there for Seth's match. So that was happening behind the scenes, and Roman, of course, is taken to the hospital. This is just a way to write Roman off for a little while, so he won't probably be he 9 times out of 10 will not be Raw tomorrow. Now, I'll give that match a solid B+. It was very hard hitting. I give it a B+ because it took Roman and Reed a little while to really get the crowd engaged. But after a few heavy hits and all that stuff, everybody was in it. So a B+ is still a passing grade. It's just like it. I give it the B+ because it took a little while for the momentum to really, it took it a little while for it to really kick in. But solid match overall. The next match was Street Profits versus YS6. The crowd exploded for the YS6 entrance. They were singing the song. They were ready. Street Profits, they came out in cosplay as the Borderlands characters because they're promoting Borderlands 4. For those who love Borderlands, go check it out. 9 times out of 10, eventually I will have it on the GMT channel as well. So look forward to that. I probably won't be getting it opening day. I'm not a huge Borderlands advocate, but I have 2 buddies that are definitely playing it, so I'll wait for a little while and hopefully it'll be on sale, then I'll grab it. I like playing it with them, but anywho, back to the review. They're showing issues between the Street Profits. We might finally get that split that we know Montez Ford kind of wants to he wants to kind of go down so he can go a singles run. My only thing, once that happens, I think Montez Ford, I think D'Angelo Hawkins are great assets. I just don't want D'Angelo to fall to the wayside because Montez is clearly a star. And I don't want like for like how a lot of tag teams, once one branches off, sometimes like the other can't keep up because he was like a tag team guy. So I hope that doesn't happen with them. But D'Angelo showed off in this match, y'all. My man was flipping. He was landing on his feet. He was hitting some heavy hits. So I have high hopes. They're both future world and mid card champions. My one thing with Montez, and this is for a lot of people who use the frog splash move because I'm just over it. It's my bias. I like the spear. I do think the spear is overused, but the frog splash, my God, is overused, y'all. It's overused. I need the frog splash to. I need so many people to stop using that. It's all about how high can you go and the impact when you slam. I'm like, nah, it's not investing. Come up with a better finishing move. But that's just me. But yeah, issues within the Street Profits. They did not win. Y6 won. It was your basic tag team match, though. Of course, the Y6 played the numbers game. Montez got the first. Nikki gets involved by holding his leg when he couldn't get in the ring, and then Uncle Howdy gave him the Sisters Abigail, and done deal. So yeah, I do hope that we'll get more storyline regarding everything going on soon. I'm sure we will. But yeah, it was your basic, tag team match. Nothing spectacular. No no special attraction. Nothing like that. So it was pretty cool. I gave it a B-. The next match after that is another B-. I'm gonna say this off jump. It's another B-. Now, I will also equally say, let me fix my camera a little bit, y'all. I will also equally say this. People are going to hate this match because a lot of people do not like Nikki Bella. I've never disliked Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella is actually my favorite of the Bella twins. I like Brie. Bree's cool. Nikki just was the one that always stood out to me. But this match, I think this was also Nikki's first official solo match. And I could be wrong. But this is her and Becky's first match ever against each other, like in a singles situation. There were like clear moments where there were botches. Like the one that you're going to most likely see on the internet, X and all that other stuff of people bad mouthing Nikki, is when she tried to do a kick off the middle rope, and clearly Becky was not there, so she just it was just like she was hitting nothing, and they were like, wait, why did she do that? So it was botches, but overall I would say this for this match: the promos between Nikki and Becky have been great. It's been entertaining. They promo chemistry was really good in my opinion. I do think we will see a match 2 between these two for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It's just Nikki needs to get a little bit of the solo ring rust off before we go into that. So I'm sure the next match will probably be a little bit better than this one. Again, this match wasn't horrible. People will say this match is horrible, and I promise you, like I said, people love to hate Nikki Bella, people equally love to hate Becky Lynch. I love both. I'm a bigger Becky Lynch fan, um, but yeah, no, I think these two did great. I would like to see a second match just to close it out. I don't think we need a third. I don't see Nikki getting the Intercontinental title off Becky. Personally, I think that title is not coming off Becky until we get whatever happens between whatever's going on with Bayley and or if Stephanie does not get the world title for the woman, um, then she'll probably go for the Intercontinental title, and we'll see what happens from there. Um, but it was a nice back and forth. It just yeah. Um, Now the next match, I already knew this was going to be an instant classic. Um, they were already doing like phenomenal work on Raw. Sheamus versus Rusev 3. They've had two matches on Raw. One went to Rusev, one went to Sheamus. This was the so-called rubber match. At this point, I'm almost convinced Sheamus can't have a bad match with somebody, especially if they're as heavy hitting as he is. Y'all, they beat the heavy hell out of each other. It was like it was a street fight s match. I didn't think Sheamus was going to win because clearly we're building Rusev to be something like Gunther. It's just I hope they do push Rusev in that route because they didn't do it the last time. But now that he's back, now that he's learned, now that he's matured, I'm hoping WWE is able to push him in the right way to a world title. Like he doesn't have to be like this dominating like Gunther was, But I would like to see a world title on him for a little while, like maybe like a 3-4 month reign, and just like, hey, he got the title. But yeah, it was crazy. One of the biggest pops of the night. Like they were hitting each other with like so many haymakers. Users, it's like, all right, the match is over. It's clearly over. And they would kick out. But one of the big, it's like they had these 4 barrels, whiskey barrels, stacked on each other. Sheamus white noised Rusev off of it into 2 tables, and the crowd was just like, "Hey yo, hey yo." Even after all that, though, Rusev pulled off the W. So congrats to Rusev on that. I gave that match an A+. It was heavy hitting, it's like you expected. It was good. It was really solid. The next match, it's another A+ for me. And I only gave 2 matches A+. This is the next one: Logan Paul versus John Cena. So for those who do not know, I am a huge John Cena fan. And I am saddened we have only 3 months left with the man. He has 8 dates left on his calendar with WWE. I'm saddened I could not see him live to wrestle at least once. They put on a banger, y'all. This entire time, I was expecting Brock Lesnar to come out and interfere because I didn't. I'm here with you. Cena won the match. I'm gonna let you know that now. Cena won. I was not expecting Cena to win because I was sure Brock Lesnar was going to interfere. Because in my mind, my thought process was it's typical WWE for one, and 2, I just don't foresee Lesnar being Cena's last opponent for his farewell tour. I just don't see it. But I don't know. I don't know how the Lesnar storyline fits into place with Cena just shedding. They're shedding little pieces here and there. Like I know on SmackDown 2 weeks ago, they had mentioned that oh my god, the GM for Nick Aldis had heard from Brock Lesnar, and then Cena of course got attacked by Logan Paul, so we didn't really get that information. But yeah, so Anyway, this entire time I'm thinking Lesnar's coming out. Lesnar coming out. Lesnar does not come out in this match, y'all. So don't expect to see Brock Lesnar. But Cena pulled out everything. He went. All right. I would say this. When we got matches when Cena was going again back in the day when we saw Cena go against Kevin Owens and doing the United States title run, how you would see Cena pull like all these bag of tricks moves out of nowhere. Like I didn't know Cena could do that. I didn't know Cena could do that. He was doing that stuff again. We didn't get the springboard stunner giant, but he was doing like the Hurricanrana. He was doing the code reds. He was doing everything. And you're just like, wait, like what is he doing? And here's the thing. I will also say this. I am not a fan of Logan Paul. I don't follow Logan Paul, so I have nothing against him. I'm just like, I think Logan Paul gets a lot at WWE, but I think Logan Paul is very, very good at what he does in that ring. I do not agree with, like, he's been there for, 3 years now? I could be wrong on that number, but he's been there, and I feel like his handful of matches, and he got title matches. And I'm like, how? I don't like that. But overall, the man, he does his work, and I appreciate that. He shows he's good in that ring. And him and Cena did a phenomenal match. It's not, it's not my favorite John Cena match, but it had me on my feet. I was like, yo, this is really good. So back and forth, we got hints of Super Cena. It was a nice back and forth. It was sometimes when you actually thought Logan Paul was going to win, and I was like, yo, if Logan Paul wins, my God, I'm going to be pissed. That crowd's going to be pissed. I don't think people want Logan Paul to win. Please don't let Logan Paul win. He didn't win, but he put on a show, y'all. I'll give him that. He put on a show. So shouts out to Logan Paul for that match. That was good. That was a really good match. By the way, after the match, and this also apparently happened on SmackDown. Sadly, I don't get a chance to really watch SmackDown like that because, like, I do a lot of other things, and on Fridays it's just hectic for me. So I try to get the cliff notes of like what happens on SmackDown so I can be up to date. I do that with like AEW because I just don't have time, and I'm trying to do like a lot of other things for the channel and like my own personal life. But anywho, the child that Cena insulted when he first turned heel. Cena apologized to him on Friday, and the kid was also in the crowd for this show. After the match, he gave him a hug, and everything. That's why I thought that was really cool. Because Cena destroyed that poor kid when he did his whole heel turn. I was like, damn, that's wow type situation. But yeah. Match, I gave it an A+. It was really good. Then after that we got into like a whole WWE doing their plugs about what's going on, and the major plug was the ESPN move. I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna go into this ESPN move before we go into the main event. I don't like the ESPN move. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I didn't like the Peacock move. I want WWE to go back doing their network. Reasons being, when we had the network, we had a full library. Since they did all these moving arounds, we no longer have a full library. It's like it's harder to go back to find what you're looking for. Well, we didn't have that issue really with the network. At least that was my experience, and that is my experience. Another issue is that at least when the network transitioned into Peacock honored that we had the WWE network and was like, well, hey, this is how much it would be since we know we were taking over something you already were paying for. ESPN ain't doing that, y'all. We have to pay $29.99 for that, and don't quote me on like if you already have ESPN, you should be fine. But it's also this thing about ESPN Plus. I'm still learning it myself. Once we get to WrestlePalooza, I'll know more information, and I'm hoping everybody else will have more information. And by that time, we could all just watch WrestlePalooza together. But yeah, I don't like this ESPN move. It's a money grab for TKO. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand you're trying to make money. This is just, I'm not for it. You know, it's just why. But yeah, they did their little shameless plug for the move to ESPN. Um, and for like a lot of matches, like again, like I said before, the Stephanie Vaquer match, maybe a Julia match, maybe Judgment Day. I have a feeling that's all going to be probably WrestlePalooza because it gives them something more extravagant, something bigger, and that's probably where we're going to get the first John Cena versus Brock Lesnar match as well, because that's clearly going to be we know that's going to be a 3-parter match. Now, the final match. Fatal 4-Way, Rollins versus LA Knight versus Jey Uso versus CM Punk. Going into this match, there was been rumors going around that something major was going to happen. So it had a lot of people already on their feet, like, what's about to happen, what's about to happen. And especially with how the match started, given to the fact that, you know, Breakker, Reed, Heyman, banned from ringside, not allowed. So we knew Seth was by himself, and then they gave even further hints, like, you know, I think it was Jackie Redmond came back, and I think it was Jackie, it was Kathy or Jackie. One of them went back and asked Seth, like, how you feeling? And Seth looked a little rattled, you know. He's like, but Seth, being the architect, it's like, no, I always got a plan. I always got a plan. My plan's got plans. I don't need nobody. My plan's got plans, and that's how Seth went about it. And then, you know, they had Michael Cole even do his spills, like, Seth look a little rattled. And, like, giving you a wink, like, something gonna happen, y'all. Something gonna happen. It ain't gonna go down the way y'all think it's gonna go down. So everybody was like, new member to Seth's faction. Clearly that's what's about to happen. Like, that Seth's faction is about to get a new member. So, yeah. This match, everybody... Like, they were beating the holy hell out of each other. Like, they started off beating the crap out of Seth. Then it went to them turning on each other. And then it was just like, it was your basic Fatal 4-Way. It's like, it's not my all-time favorite Fatal 4-Way whatsoever. But it was decent. It's like, I didn't hate it. At one point in time, the match went into the crowd. But at a certain point, when we started winding to the end of the match, like, LA Knight put himself through the table because he was trying to hit Seth, and Jay got taken out. Rollins found a way. He ended up stomping again. He stomped LA Knight again, and he stomped Jay on the outside of the ring. He hopped back in the ring and started attacking CM Punk. CM Punk hit him with the GTS. Seth does a little spill where he hits the rope, falls back on CM Punk's shoulder, and CM Punk's about to do it again. CM Punk taking forever. I'm like, Punk, just do it. In the match. Do it. He's like gloating with him, like on his shoulder. And before he could lift that knee up, low blow. There's a mystery assailant there. And yeah, the mystery assailant turned out to be the new member, which is, drum roll, Becky Lynch, who his wife. I was like, and everybody went, oh yeah, I guess that does make sense. You're like, he's heel, she's heel. No, that totally makes sense. So yeah, Becky gives Punk the low blow, and CM Punk, Steph stomps CM Punk on a steel chair. 1, 2, 3. Becky is celebrating with the title. Steph and her are parading on the ring, just mocking people, like the celebrities that were there. Now, I will say this too. The way things are going right now, there's potentially, and I know everybody's jumping to these conclusions, I'm not the only one, that we could get a Becky Lynch AJ match in the future. We could. If they, you know, I don't know what's going on with AJ. I know she's doing her own thing. I don't know if WWE is trying to, obviously I know they probably want her back, but I don't know if they reached out any deals or anything with CM Punk and her. I have no idea. This is just my speculations. But yeah, it's hinting towards CM Punk's going to need some extra help fighting Seth, and I'm assuming that will be AJ. I will also say Punk was clearly the most over person in the match. Coming out, Jay came out first. You know, Jay is always over with the yeeting, so the whole crowd was into it. Then we got LA Knight. I feel like LA Knights was the weakest, but people still was doing the yeah. So it was just like it was just out of the three, his pop wasn't that great, but still strong. When CM Punk came out, people were singing the song, y'all. it was like they were singing more than the actual Titron was able to go. So it's like, yeah, CM Punk was clearly over, and then people clearly still sing along with Seth's song, like. But I would say CM Punk was the overall biggest thing for entrances, but I gave this match a B minus. Again, it was your typical fatal four way. Seth just got the title. We knew that title wasn't coming off of him. I would say this. I do wish WWE would do more short title reigns. Like, it doesn't have to be a day, because those are like a little too short, and that's what Money in the Bank is for. But it's almost like, hey, if somebody had the title for a month, I think that's fine. They were a champion for a month. That build that to your storyline. We need to get back doing that stuff versus having these long, lengthy reigns, because the long, lengthy reigns kind of get tiresome after a while. But overall, solid pay-per-view. Only 2 matches. Like I said, got an A+. So overall, I will give the whole event a B. WrestlePalooza is the next big pay-per-view. And this was the last one on Peacock. So I hope everybody can get ESPN for the next one. And I do intend to do another review for WrestlePalooza. So, until then, thanks for tuning in.